Well, for us it's a special moment because it's the last, we are ready to start the last activity of the day and the Congress in the Agora. I hope everybody enjoy a lot the whole activities that we propose these days. And Holon is already prepared to start their activity.
Yes. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Woo! 3 days. Is everyone happy? Is everyone feeling super energized? No? Is everyone feeling a little bit like, you know, you've consumed a lot of information and you're like, wow, I need a drink. I really need a drink. I need to reflect. I feel like my life is changing. There's some dystopic things happening over there. There's some utopian things happening over there. Ooh, there's some amazing things happening right here. So the last activity for the day to close off these, you know, very intense 3 days is a little bit of a performative reflection. Ooh, with cumbia. So what we're going to do is we thought we would take this opportunity. Let me come in front of you so you don't need to stand and look behind me. So we thought we would take an opportunity to reflect on what we've learned in these 3 days, but not to absorb any new information, but just to engage with our gut emotion. So our gut can tell us a lot. And when we're dealing with things, with questions of the future for which we have no answers, it's really important that we engage with our feelings towards these futures. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask you all to help me move some of these seats out of the way. You're going to stand up and you're going to form a circle. And I'm going to take you through a few exercises and we're going to reflect on what sharing means for the city. And we're going to come up together using our gut feeling, some scenarios of the future of sharing cities. Sound good? And we're going to do it to some cumbia. All right. And this is my colleague Markel, and he's gonna say all the things that I don't say. Okay, so everybody, come on. Everybody who is here, please join me.
Come on, we know it can be challenging, but it's an opportunity.
Everybody form a circle where I am. Come on, you guys over here, come on.
Come on, people.
Let's do this. Join. Come and join. Join. There's no reason to be shy. Everybody come. There are no reasons to be shy. Please. Join the circle. You can join the circle while you wait. All right. Come on. Por favor, ven y juguemos con nosotros. Are you guys gonna join? Are you gonna join? No? Come on.
Venga, al principio es un reto, pero en cuanto coja velocidad esto va a ser... Venga. Okay.
Venga. Ven. Okay. Bueno, ahora, what we're going to do is a bit of an exercise to get us engaged, to get us thinking in the right way, to get us feeling in the right way. And it's a bit of a hypnotizing game, right? So I'm going to do a bit of an example with my friend here, Markel, and I'm going to hypnotize him. And you're going to do this after we do this. So, for example, Markel is now hypnotized by my hand. All he thinks about is my hand. And so when I move my hand around, and when I move around the space, he has to look at my hand. He has to constantly be engaging with my hand. Now, I want you with the person next to you or with some other person to start doing this activity. And then I'm going to make you freeze and we're going to go from there.
We know that this looks really weird and it's a little bit like challenging, but let's go. This is a game. Let's be kids again. Okay.
You guys have to do it. So hypnotize. One person hypnotizes. One person. Use the space.
Yeah, think about the space. And you can be a little bit tricky also. It does not need to be easy. All right.
You're sharing a special moment with each other right now. Beautiful.
Okay, I see people playing a lot. I like that.
Okay, now freeze.
Freeze. Freeze.
Now what I want you to do is the person who is hypnotizing the other person, I want you to now identify a point on someone else's body who was also playing the game, and you are now going to be hypnotized by that point. So when you continue to move, you need to continue to hypnotize your person, but you're also going to be hypnotized by someone else's body part.
So for example,
does that make sense? For example,
he's hypnotizing you and you can be hypnotized by his foot or whatever, okay? Perfect.
And then you're going to keep moving.
Yeah, you have to choose. Another one, yeah, another one.
All right.
Not your partners, but another one. Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Okay, let's go. No.
You need to keep moving around. Come on.
Come on, move around the space. Don't make it so easy.
Wow, you're being very careful. You're being very careful.
There's a big empty space here. You can move this way if you want.
All right, freeze. Well done. Now, it's a little bit awkward. I have to admit, it's a little bit awkward with the furniture. But what we're trying to show you right now is the dynamic complexities that exist within a system. And this can be any system. But when you think about a sharing system, when you think about a sharing city, a sharing economy, sharing with your brothers, with your sisters, with your parents, with your lovers, it's complex. You always have your eye hypnotized by something, and you're always hypnotized by something else, and so you get a little bit confused. And I think some of this confusion can be felt in this situation right here, where we are right now in this summit, because what we're dealing with is complex, right? So I want you to come into the next exercise knowing that we're dealing with these complexities, and that's okay. Let's stay with the trouble. Let's stay with the complexity, yeah? All right. Now, I want to, give you some control over what we do. wants to play the role of who wants to swap roles? Who wants to be the hypnotizer and no longer hypnotized? Or do you want to move on to the next thing? All right, let's do it again, and you swap roles. Ready? Set. Do it. Go. Do it, do it.
So while you're doing it, you can think about where is your focus? Where is not your focus? Are you thinking about all the person in the room, just the one you are being hypnotized by, or the one you are hypnotizing? Where is your focus on that?
Okay, freeze. Engage with another part of someone's body. And I'm talking about the person that is, you know, the hypnotizer right now. Go.
So, other one
There we go. Now see how you're all moving together? This is system dynamics. This is what it is like to exist in a system. All right, beautiful, freeze. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Everyone, a round of applause for our beautiful performers here. All right. Now, would anyone else like to join the circle at this point? Okay, so back into a circle. The next activity is really starting to, again, engage with our gut in trying to understand and reflect on what does sharing mean for us. If we're going for sharing, if we're going for the sharing city, what is sharing? What kind of sharing do we want to create in this world? So this activity is about creating a collective narrative because, you know, sharing is all about collective action, right? So the way this game goes is that someone will enter the circle and just think to yourself, okay, this is what sharing in its essence means to me. And you're going to start miming something. You're going to start creating some kind of abstract representation. You're going to start evoking some kind of emotion, but using your body. So for me, I'm going to think of something, and I'm going to start acting it out. Okay, so that's me. I'm starting to play out this kind of feeling of sharing. And what's going to happen after I start doing this is someone else is going to join the scene. You're going to see something in what I'm doing, and then you're going to participate in whatever way you choose. So I'm here, I'm doing my thing.
So I see Grace there, and I have my own concerns and my own ideas about what sharing in a city means. And so I come to the stage with those ideas about what it means to share a city. But I am affected by what she's doing, and I am trying to interpret what she's doing. So I come to the stage and I say, okay, I know what I want to put on the stage about what do I understand that sharing a city is. But I want also to somehow to relate with her. For example, it can be like this.
So you can start interacting with each other, like having a bit of a, like... Or you could just be like, or you can be like, all right, see ya. But the idea is that you have your own story that you're bringing into the circle. And it's one by one. And then we're going to build this collective scene.
And one thing, the thing, as it is really challenging, one thing that happens a lot of times is that we use words because somehow language is a kind of cage. So sometimes when we feel a little bit awkward, we come here and we are doing something. For example, I'm doing this. But you have to believe in what you are doing. I mean, it's not like, oh, shit.
No words. It's simple.
Oh, shit.
Enter the circle and just start moving around.
Yeah. So the thing is, try not to use words because they will come, okay, I am digging a hole here, you know? I am justifying myself. So just come inside, believe in what you are doing, and everything will be fine. Believe.
One by one. Okay, música. Woo! All right, first person. Markel, you go so that like it starts easy. No? Do it. And you keep moving around. Keep moving around. You have to like keep doing your thing. Next person enters the scene. No. Everyone keeps coming into the scene. And you just keep moving around doing your thing. Where are you? Think about where are you? Am I in a park? Am I in a house? I'm having a cup of tea. You have to you're just acting something up. It's like, oh, I'm just making some cup of tea. So it's like. So one by one, interpret what you're seeing and then contribute or add to or complement. It could be, it's whatever you interpret. So think in the city, you could be entering a restaurant, you could be entering a park, you could be entering a public square, right? So I could be sitting down, I'm in a public square absorbing the sun, and this is my version of sharing. So this exercise will go until everyone enters the scene. Keep going, enter the scene,
Sácalo, lindita. Ay, mamacita.
Okay, freeze. Música. See, he's having too much fun over there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've just built something. You're sharing something right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and does someone want to start by saying what they're doing and what they'd like to get out of this virtual experience? All right, I'm going to start with you. What are you doing? What's in your imaginary?
To build a human tower.
Tower. Human tower. That's super Catalan. I love it. A human tower. That's like so. I just love that. Okay. What do you want?
To articulate a team to build a human tower, but only in, how do you say in English? Could be nice.
So again,
Okay. How would building a human tower make you feel?
How I feel, or how I feel very happy because the people here in this space could be thinking that we are crazy. That it's indeed we are crazy. We are full.
Okay. So we're crazy, but we're building a human tower. Okay. What are you doing?
I'm taking something and drop it.
Okay. So he's playing a game.
I was paddling.
You were paddling.
Yeah, I was paddling.
Paddling in a river?
No, into the ocean. Yeah,
Wow, I like it. Can you see this kind of collective imaginary starting to build? It's beautiful, no?
Yeah, I was lying on the grass in the park. Yeah.
To the ocean, there's a human tower.
I was playing percussion with people I don't know in the park.
This park, I just love this park.
I woke up plenty this morning and I was giving all the things I had.
There's like a flea market at the park.
So I was writing down stories about what I'm seeing around me, and I'm giving the stories away to people so they can write on.
Wow, this is like the complexity, no? This is like the beautiful complexity of sharing.
Me, I was sharing energy from my own.
Nice. Energy is important. It's also like not just human, you know? So sharing energy, I like it.
Hi. I just joined in, so I don't know what you're talking about, but it looks nice.
Thanks for coming. Please stay.
I was inspired to dance by the drummers, so I started dancing.
And what were you doing?
I was also contributing to the song that we were all singing.
All right. Lucky last.
I was watching. I was intrigued by all the movement and I was astonished.
We have a flaneur. All parks need a flaneur. What were you doing?
Yeah, I was just trying to observe everything, and then I saw that they were playing, and I was somehow I was envied that they were having a good time, so I needed to get there, and I think I took the couple of, I don't know of whom. Maybe I started playing with you, and you were playing with? I don't know, I don't know. So someone just had to leave the game because I wanted to play with him.
All right. So what we've got now is this beautiful imaginary with cumbia of this park, you know, by an ocean, where there are people giving things in all of these different ways. And this kind of, you know, what we've just done is created this reflection of what we value and how we feel in a city. And this is as us, as individuals, but through the collective imaginaries of you all, we now have this more dynamic vision. So with this, I'm sure you all have a different vision than what I have of what we've just collectively created. But with this, I want you to reflect a little bit more. Markel's going to give you some cards to maybe help you think of other things. And now what we're going to do is you're going to take what you've kind of learnt in the last 3 days. You're going to take this collective imaginary that you've just created. And you're going to think about, okay, so if I am in this point right now, creating a vision for a near future where, you know, we're 100% living this sharing economy, we're living this sharing city in whatever form we want. I want you to think about that, where you're trying to get to. And it could be, you know, however utopian, dystopian, I don't know, I don't think anyone wants to go to a dystopian future or a utopian one for that matter. But anyway, let's not go there. But think about where you want to get to. So 10, 15, 20 years from now, how do you want to be experiencing the sharing city? And then we're going to recreate that exercise. So we're going to do the same exercise again, but this time it's going to be very intentionally looking forward.
And again, I think we are really surrounded by technologies that sometimes it's just technology, sometimes it's technology that responds to a need. So we don't want to think about that future, 2030, whatever, about which kind of technology we will be using. We want you to think about how will you engage in that day-to-day in 2030, related, of course, to the context of the sharing city, but we are not too much onto thinking about the technologies, but thinking about how you will feel, how you will engage with the day-to-day in that 2030. So these cards that you have here, they are just images. I mean, they are just provocation. If they are fine to you, just to connect to other ideas about how you believe the 2030 will be in the sharing city, it's just completely fine. If it does not help you, just forget about them and just connect with your ideas and your emotions and your feelings about how it feels in the guts to live in that future, okay?
But the idea is that we've imagined our city today. Now let's imagine a city in 15, 20 years' time. You know, I could be like, without making that sound like. I'm obviously in a drone. No. But yes, okay. So I'm going to give you like a few minutes to just think about this, and then we're going to get back into the circle and replay the exercise. Cumbia, cue cumbia.
Ya se ha muerto mi abuelo, ya se ha muerto mi abuelo, tomando masato, tomando masato. Ole lola, 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 ole lola.
I think it's good. It's like
Ole lola, 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 ole lola. Así guanaco, dale con el órgano. No se roba mañana. Y nos vamos a la selva, a comer y paichipando. Oye, qué ritmo loretano. Ya se ha muerto mi abuela, ya se ha muerto mi abuela, comiendo suri, comiendo suri, ole lola, ole lola, ole lola, ole lola, ole lola.
When you feel that you've got this kind of scene that you want to build in your mind, I want you to start forming the circle again.
You don't need just to choose one. Maybe you can choose a couple of them. Just the and you can use them or not. It's not this is not the rule of. Okay, so whenever we're ready, we can start building the circle again. I think I will take those because if not, they will be
Okay.
broken. Okay.
All right. Let's recenter ourselves. Now, remember, this is living, you know, I think you guys got really good there where, you know, you started sensing what each other was doing. You knew, you understood how to build on that, but hold true to the tower, to the beach, to all of these things. So, let's see where it goes. Yes? All right.
Okay, I just wanted to note something. In the previous exercise, something like this was happening. So I'm coming to the space. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I started my action, and I keep doing my thing. And somehow I was affected by what was happening, but I was doing my thing. For this exercise, I would like to ask you if you could start having a little bit of a broader understanding of what's going on around. So it's not only me doing my action, it's what's happening around and what's the situation there, and somehow how it affects me. So somehow, and this is ideally, if someone is looking the scene from this side, I mean, there's many people doing different stuff, like in a normal city, but somehow you can really taste that there is something there, something in common. There's like a situation happening, even though they are doing different stuff, okay? So keep the attention into the space, keep the attention not just to your movements, but also to what's happening around you, okay?
All right. Cue cumbia. Woo! All right. And feel free to enter whenever you like.
There's not a hurry. We can wait a lot here if you want. Whenever is the time to get in. Come on, we need a brave soul right now. Oh, we have a brave soul here.
We have a brave soul.
Yeah, we have here. So observe what is going on, understand what is going on and how it affects you or not. Okay, there's no need to represent the image, it's just what it brings.
Come on, you've got this. Do it.
Okay, how about the rest of the people that they are not engaging? They're just observers of the sharing city, or they are actors?
Okay, I'm going to give you 20 more seconds to build on your scene. And then we're going to freeze. Okay, freeze. All right. Now, what I want you to do right now is look around at everyone that you were just interacting with, knowing, you know, what you were kind of doing and everything. And we're going to start really unpacking what you just created from each of your perspectives. So before, in the last session, I went around and I asked you all what you were doing. Now we're going to know what each other is doing, but how you were interpreting what the other people were doing around you as well. Because again, we are a very organic, living, sharing, you know, confused society. And we want to understand that. Okay, so who wants to start?
Did you? I've got a question. If it's fine, can I make it?
Make it
did any one of you observe something that you found like interesting, or maybe okay? I for example, I could see you somehow doing like this kind of movement, and I don't know if that's fine, but my interpretation of that, it was like you were trying to contain people. So no, don't get into the space. It's too dangerous. That was the kind of feeling that it was making to me. Like, okay, sharing the city is really dangerous, so don't get into this thing, all right? So did you have any images came to your mind while you were like checking the situation here? Do you want to share anything about that? He still is. Okay. So, and what it brought to you? I mean, which kind of, how you can relate that to the sharing city? Okay, right. So somehow try to connect with what he's doing and get something about him. Okay. Anything else? We had many situations here.
She was like kind of Messiah, no? She had found the way out, and she said, "This is."
The messiahs, yeah.
So it's like an alternative. She's like, oh my God, no, come follow me over here because it's way better.
And how do you interpret, because she's taking the roots image, how do you interpret, how do you connect the sharing city with the roots? I mean, how you can interpret, yeah.
This is a very philosophical question. I think she loved the design, and that's why she chose it.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. It's enough, yeah. And what about you? How were you feeling while you were...
I took the roots because I imagine the city in a future with people and services and more interrelated. Because nowadays city can be a place of isolation also for newcomers, people who don't have a network. And the image of the symbol of the roots is this interconnection. If I need taking care of my baby, I have a network. If I need, I don't know, this interconnections. People more connected among them. And I was doing like that, like we have in the Smart City Congress, but don't forget the roots.
Cool.
I think that's really nice because, there is this, everyone's like, oh, smart city is about connection. We're so connected, but we're also like disconnected. Everyone's like, we're connected, but we're disconnected. But I think the type of connection is really important, right? And roots kind of comes down to this, well, maybe in the future, the type of connectivity we need is very deeply rooted, which we've kind of lost, right? It's very surfacey.
We have new
And what do you
players.
think?
New players came into the game. Nice.
Okay. Continue.
What else was happening here? I mean, many things were going on.
Well, yeah, you were the brave being that entered the scene first, and you were doing something really interesting. Any views on what was happening here?
Yeah,
Wow.
nice.
Wow,
So
that's profound.
If it wasn't like an elliptical movement, which was the focus around? She was orbitating somewhere here. And what do we are in 2030 in the sharing city, and she's orbitating around this point. What do you picture in this point? Which thing do you think would be like the orbitating center of the sharing economy in 2030? This is really philosophical question. I know that. But that's where the game is going.
Meditation, deep-rooted, centered meditation. That was just my opinion. There's a community thing.
I mean, we weren't using words, but you used words to beginning. You said that you couldn't do your thing until somebody else came in the circle. And so I felt like it was a human-centered, like you were interrelational with somebody else. You couldn't exist on your own.
Well, what this card inspired me. It says fitting things around each other is like a smart solution to like a sink and being able to use the space underneath it. And it's connected to what I think should be a smart city where things are not standardized, but anything, a service or a housing, is just available to whoever needs it in any moment and can be adapted. But my idea how to interpret it here was to see empty space, for example, and fill it. So there's no empty space, or see what others are doing and kind of connecting to it. Being super flexible and changing, adapting to whatever is happening.
I think, thank you very much for saying that. I think even before the game was starting, something really interesting was happening in the space, because all of us were like, okay, who is going to be the first to get into the stage? I think that even can be a metaphor of what's going on in the sharing city also. First, who is the first that is going to get into the space, and then what is going on after that, or whatever. No? So this kind of, we don't know where we're going, we don't have a plan, maybe we don't need it, or yes. So this kind of idea, maybe it was also kind of connected to what was going on here. Any other want to share something about that? I had a question that I found it maybe it can be inspiring, and I will do it because I told you I will do it. I wanted to ask you, how do you see the future? You know, we are all standing in our points. So how do you see the future of the sharing city from the point you are standing now? Okay, so we have been 2 days of Congress, listening to many things. We have ended up today doing this weird stuff. And we are now placed in the future, in a focus point of the future. And I want to ask you, how do you see the future of the sharing city from the point you are standing now? You can ask whatever.
When you say point, you mean physical point or temporal point?
Yeah, we created like a temporal portal or whatever, and we are in the 2030. Okay, 2030. But we are standing in a point. We have a point of view. We are seeing the future from our own eyes. You know, future is really relative to the point of view of people.
This has to do with the pictures I selected, for example.
Perfect.
And there was this waiting area, which somehow links to something that I believe will happen, meaning that we will have more spare time. So will leave us more time to do more reflection. No, it's okay. So more reflection, more time to reflect, more time to do conversation. No, and more time. So to build bridges basically and to open. So because I mean I can't help thinking of where we are now, where we are standing now. So 2018. So it's a society which is getting closer and closer. So it's. I hope that at some point we will end up again in a more open society, thanks to the new technology. And let's see. I don't know.
I like it. So we have more time. We're dynamically responding to spaces, but we have very deep-rooted connections. This is going somewhere beautiful. I think we need to. I want to cover everyone, right? So where I want to go to now is because where you started was around the meditation. And this was kind of this little central point. And then I want to go to you because you were kind of sitting in this kind of vicinity around the meditation. So what was happening with this meditation?
I was meditating on the concept of burnt toast. And so stay with me. So I think burnt toast is something that we must remember. I think that burnt toast is a metaphor for the type of thing that we are trying to get past with these advanced technology. The idea that we don't have to experience burnt toast. Now, burnt toast comes from what? It comes from being so distracted by other things, by being pulled away and not being in the moment and not being connected to the thing that is doing the cooking for you. It's putting it back to the point that you don't have to think about it. And so the idea of moving towards a technologically advanced city where we don't have to actually think or be a part of the services and the things that are connected to is something that I was thinking, actually, that's not the future that I personally want in 2030, so I want there still to be burnt toast in 2030.
Have you ever sandpapered like some timber? It's very meditative, you know? It's like connecting back with things and the deep-rooted connection. Okay, thank you. Does anyone want to interpret anything into what he just said? It was perfect, okay. Now, what was happening? Were you like by yourself or was there other things going on?
Well, I have to say that I got distracted and I didn't really know what to do. So I started to dance a little bit. And usually it's very easy, but today it was very complicated. For me, I felt very blocked with my body and I thought, oh, okay, what should I do? And I looked around and I thought, okay, he looks happy, so I will do the same. And that's it. Yeah.
I think maybe even that can be a metaphor. I mean, we are in the Congress, one of the representations of what the future should be, I guess. And it's the only space that you found to move your body and to, and to be humane somehow. Not brainy, but just moving around. So maybe in that future we should find places. I don't know, I'm just intervening too much. But maybe in that space we could find places to be more humane also, not so helped by technologies, but be humane and connect with the bodies and with our humanity and with relations, whatever.
But I think it brings up something that I think is the most important thing, which is around this, there's so many different people that have said this in so many different ways, which is essentially around, we design the world and the world designs us back. We design technology and technology designs us back. So if we design this scene with someone meditating in the scene designs this individual to meditate. So thinking about that and being critical about, okay, so I'm going to put this thing in the world knowing that it's going to affect someone, which is going to then affect the thing, is really important. Because how can we use that towards creating this more, to create the sharing city? No, I think it's important. Okay, what did you do? I know you did nothing. You did nothing. I'm just pretending.
You know that my goal is to try to build a human tower, but it's quite difficult. My intention is to try to build bridges among us in order to try to think that my goal is possible and to try to build a human tower. But finally, I think I failed. But the idea is that it's important to think that the people can collaborate without technologies in order to build the big things, no? And this is the most important thing in this environment of technology that is a shit.
Yeah, you suck. No, I think that's beautiful. Is there anyone else that has something to offer on this note?
I want to say something.
Yes.
Can I, Grace?
Dale, dale.
Something really interesting happened because we are all really good people and we didn't see really like deep conflicts. You guys have 1 hour, so we didn't want to engage badly with him meditating because I could start taking him and put it out of the space. And that's really something that it would be really nice to explore in this way, not by speaking as we are doing right now, or by thinking about the conflicts of the sharing city, but just living it, so experiencing it. What is conflict in the sharing city? What if I don't like him to meditate here because he's, affecting me and I don't want spirituality in this place, whatever. So I think this is really something that happened or that didn't happen conflict, but it's something that maybe we could explore further, maybe.
Okay, I just want to build again on the human tower because it's technology, no? It's like humans using humans to build a tower. Have you seen a human tower? It's amazing. So, like particularly the ones in Catalonia. So what I want to build on there is that if we are able in this future to have these more deep-rooted connections where we connect with the things in the right way and we create this space, this dynamic space that allows us to free up time to focus on that space, then we can create the right kind of human towers in the right ways for the right reasons. No? So how does everyone feel about that kind of sharing future? Yeah. Okay. Conceptually, it's very wild. Hey, look. I'm trying to construct a collective story on the spot here, right? It's difficult. All right, I think...
I have a suggestion before going to the next thing, because we've been maybe 10 minutes standing in this point. How if we move a little bit? How do you think about that? We're a little bit static.
Okay.
How do you think about that? Okay, let's
move around a little bit. So what we're going to do now to close the session, because like I said to begin with, I'm sure everyone really wants to have a drink already.
Yeah, we do.
Is going back into the circle.
Okay,
to close this, very, amazing experience that we've all just had together, and to round out this very strange conference that we've all been a part of. I want you to offer a gesture. And this gesture can be like, okay, this is how I feel about the situation. This is, you know, this positive thing I'd like to offer you. Just offer a gesture for whatever reason. And so my gesture is going to be... All right, and then we're going to...
It will be really fine that when she does that, do it again, please.
Okay.
The gesture. Right, come on, Grace. Thank you very much. Okay. So what about the next one? Which kind of gesture do you want to share with us about the Congress? About?
Wow,
okay.
loved
Right.
it. Genial.
Okay, mine would be like this.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, smooth. Ah, cute. Nice. I like that. Namaste. I know you guys just joined, but you can totally offer a gesture. Woo!
Okay.
All right. Come on, you know you want to do one.
All right.
She's a statue. All right, thanks everybody. That was beautiful. Now let's build a human tower. No. Who wants to build a human tower? Who wants to build a human tower?
Baila, baila, morenita, goza, goza, mi cholita. Baila, baila, con el serio y su baño. Baila, baila, morenita, goza, goza, mi cholita. Baila, baila, con el serio y su baño. Este es el nuevo sonido, el serio y su baño. Vamos, vamos, mi negrita, caminito a tu casa. Nos quedamos un ratito para seguirnos vacilando. Vamos, vamos, mi negrita, caminito a tu casa. Nos quedamos un ratito para seguirnos vacilando.
Woo! Wow! What a way to send off. That was a good one. I'm going to use that.